1, 2, 3, go! Alrighty, so welcome to another episode of Scale Tales. I'm here with, actually I'll let him introduce himself, so who am I here with today?
Hey, I'm Callum Sambridge. I'm a coach and player on Frisbee United. Been playing Frisbee United about 8 or 9 years now. And I played Goannas in the 2019 Goannas campaign in Heidelberg, Germany.
Damn, Heidelberg, that's a fair bit away.
Yeah, long way to go.
Long way to go. No, that's good, that's good. Well, we'll start off really roughly. How did you get into Frisbee? What year did you start?
Yeah, I started in my first year of uni. My partner actually got me into it, Maddie. I started at Southside League, Canberra Southside League, Skull, as it's known here. It's the birthplace of champions. Haven of Hammers. Goes by many names.
Fair enough. So after that, straight into Goannas as your first Ausrep team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't straight. There were a couple of years in between. I had to learn how to not throw flicks into the ground. Still working on that. But Goannas in 2019. I think I learned about the Goannas probably in 2017, late 2017, early 2018, when they had the 24s here in Australia in Perth. And I think that was sort of like seeing those guys go out and get bronze sort of became a bit of okay, that's what I have to do. That's my next sort of goal in the ultimate career to hit that.
Did you go to that tournament? Were you there in person?
No. Too far, too expensive for a student.
It's Perth. Yeah. It's always too far.
Perth's way too far.
No,
never have to go there.
That's fair. So then when you went to the trials for the Goannas, how was that? How did that feel?
Yeah, very different. Back in the days, we had a kind of like a mid-youth level tournament called Under 22s that was being played a lot. And so it was quite unusual to have, because I think I played 2 Under 22s before the Goannas, selections events. So I'd sort of played a lot of the guys that I'd be playing with at the selection event. So it was a bit of a weird mentality to go from all these guys sort of being the people that I'm kind of practicing and training to play against and beat at the 22s, and then go to have to sort of play with them and work with them at the selection camp.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting, because I know for our campaign, we really didn't have any of the 22s, and they kind of went, and gave it a bit of a cut. So that's very interesting to see how you guys had your prep going and stuff. With the campaign then as a whole, apparently it was a very good campaign. A lot of enjoyable moments, a lot of now top level teams. You got MVP last year at Nationals in Division 1, and then you got some of the dingoes who are currently playing or who were part of that Goannas team. So I guess the fruits of the labour kind of work, haven't they?
Yeah. I think it was an interesting campaign. I remember at the time sort of looking at us and thinking we were this sort of ragtag group of players that sort of didn't have the prestige or the experience of sort of previous Goannas campaigns. But I think our team in particular, the 2019 Goannas, sort of came together quite well. It was really a team that was sort of more than or strove to be more than the sum of its parts, not leaning on any sort of individuals, but sort of beating teams through team play and trusting the system. I think you're right. I think, it's kind of interesting to see how a lot of players have sort of grown out into that and sort of taken a kind of pole position in the Australian ultimate scene. Guys like Jez Barron and Tom Boyle. Yeah, very familiar names.
Very familiar names. I think I've heard them maybe twice in a week of playing. So, but clearly they're doing something right. So, but in terms of the actual campaign, what was your most memorable game? Any standouts?
Interesting.
Heidelberg apparently was very hot.
Yeah, it was hot. It was this crazy tournament. It was spread out over the city a little bit because they didn't have enough fields in one place. I remember this one really memorable game against Canada in pool play. So Canada went on to get silver medal, losing to the US in the finals. They were a really strong team. We played them in pool play, and we had them first game of the day. It was the 15th of July. I remember it was my birthday.
Happy
birthday be for them. And this sort of captures the energy of our Goannas team a little bit. We got there first slot of the day, first game. We warm up, Canada's warming up, everyone's super intense and ready to go. And then the officials come over and they say, we can't play the game. We can't play the game yet. There's no first aid people here, and we can't find a first aid person for at least an hour and a half. We have to delay all the games. And we were like, oh, what? And then we looked over at Canada and their team and the coach, and the Canada coach was losing it. He was berating this official. He was so angry. He was like, no, we've warmed up. We have to play. And they were just so angry and frustrated. And so we were just sort of like, hey, you know what? That's fine. Yeah. Delay it as much as you need. We're fine. We'll play whenever you want. And so we sort of just hung out and stewed in the frustration of this Canada team that were very strong, but sort of didn't kind of, couldn't manage themselves in that way, and sort of showed it a little bit at that point, the sort of stress fractures. They went on to win that game by a couple. They were a really strong unit, but I think we gave them a really good game. Yeah, that's definitely up there for one of my memorable games.
So the 15th of July, hey?
Yeah.
Special day for you.
There was a wicked one in the pre-tour as well. We played, what's her name? Played the German club team Bad Skit.
Oh, yeah.
Who were at the time a wicked strong club team. And we played them at their home ground, which was in this small German town that I can't even remember, at this sports complex. The fields were beautiful. We spent the whole day, we did a bit of training there, hung out, played sort of like dodgeball with all the German kids that didn't speak any English in this little German town all day. And they fed us this massive feed. It was fantastic. And then in the afternoon, we played this game against this elite level German team that we ended up winning on Universe. And there was like probably a bigger crowd there than any of our World Games. It was just such an incredible atmosphere. Everyone from the town came out to watch it, and they gave us such a good game. Yeah, that was a memorable one as well.
That's interesting. So sometimes a pre-tour game can be a little bit more fun than the actual Worlds game in terms of crowd and, you know, the atmosphere and the lead up and everything.
Yeah. I think largely that is true for a lot of things about these 24s teams and Worlds and such. I think that we think of them as being the games in the Worlds tournament, and they're the things that matter, but they kind of aren't. Like, I can't really remember that many specifics from actual things that happened on the field of Worlds. Like, I remember outcomes and I remember some plays and things, but the vast majority of my memories and what I learned and what I took away from the campaign and the tournament were all the things around it. It was the off-field, it's the training, it's the things and the skills I built and the kind of people I met.
So a bit of a word of advice to the new guy is take everything as it is and be grateful for everything.
Yeah, sure. Couldn't have said it better myself, Abdul.
Fair enough.
You're a wordsmith.
Yeah, if I don't stumble over it, that's first. But anyway, well, this is a bit of a different episode. Nats is, well, by our standards right now, is about 1.5 weeks away. When this video comes out, I think it will come out the day before or 2 days before. So it'll be fairly interesting to see how our predictions and what people think of our predictions. But it is a Nats preview, so we'll get straight into it. And I have one question for you. A team is going to place 4th, so they miss out on the bronze. A team is going to place 8th, so they make quarters, but lose every game after. And a team is going to place 9th. So they lose the pool plays, but they end up wiping the floor in the bottom pool. Who are those 3 teams? 4th place, 8th place, and 9th place.
Oh, sweet. I'm going to make a lot of enemies with these predictions, I think. Okay. I think I think 9th place is going to be Beam. Yeah. Safe bet. Yeah, I think 9th place is going to be Beam. I think 8th place is going to be Manly. And I think 4th place is going to be Dice.
Dice?
Yeah, I reckon Dice. They're coming. They've had a strong push late in the season.
Yeah.
I reckon always the bridesmaid, never the bride for Dice.
Oh, fair enough. Then in that sense, who's your predicted final? Actually, I'll take that away. I don't want to know who you think is going to be to the finals. I want to know the score.
The final score. I'm gonna put a prayer out here because I think it's been a while since we've had one. I think the final score is going to be 15-14, and I think it's going to be a break to win the finals. I think it's going to go to Universe, and it's going to be a break to win.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tight.
That's interesting. I think everyone wants to be in the finals there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know Frisbee has spoken a lot, Sunder has spoken a lot. Lippy looks strong this year.
Yeah.
You would have played him at the Goannas invite in a bloodbath of a field, so
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I guess anything can happen with that. But yeah, any standouts or people you think can really rise to the occasion at Naps this year? Any MVPs?
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. If I had to make a prediction about nationals, then it's really hard to predict this year. I think we've seen across the board how tight games have been between all of the Div 1 teams. I mean, like look at teams like Crank, right? Like fantastic team, playing super well through their structures and showing that they can play strong athletic defense, having good games against all the Div 1 opposition and then just missing out on the spot. I think it's kind of just matchups like that across the board. So who's playing really well? Who could I see? I've got a soft spot for Mikey Tronga. I reckon I could see him picking up a couple of votes and really doing well. Hoss have got a good system to really complement how he plays this year. So I'm quite excited to see how he goes.
There are a couple of international pickups. I see Sunder picked up Charles Patterson from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Libby, you've got from New Zealand as well. Fishwick, obviously, we've got the big one with Connor McHale. Any of those who you think can really make an impact this year?
Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. I'm just thinking about Connor McHale. I think it's going to be really exciting. We've been working a lot with him off field and we've been working a lot with him in the film review room and looking at stuff and seeing how we can kind of borrow and take things from the Clapham style and integrate it with Fishwick. And so I think, yeah, he's all I'm thinking about in terms of international talent.
I will wrap it up with one final thing then. Best and worst kit for Naps this year. Obviously, we've already seen a couple, so Goanna's invite, I'll stay him out right now. Libby had a new kit.
Yeah, very interesting.
I think at Canberra Cup as well, we thought Outbreak in something a little bit different this year. Bean.
Yeah.
Bean was a big one this season, coming out with something new. Didn't work for them at Gold Card, but I think keep working with them in the late run. What do we think?
Yeah, okay, interesting. I think when it comes to kits, this might be the hottest take of the thing. I think I really like a kit and I respect a kit that sort of steps outside the bounds and tries to do something different. That being said, I think some of the worst kits in Australian Ultimate are exactly the same. So what kits am I liking? I really like...
What kit would you trade?
I'd trade for the Rogue Pink. I think the Rogue Pink is a wicked kit. I think it has a good balance of colour and it does well. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the Mango, the Fishwick Mango. Can't let that go. I'd never trade that away. I think there's something to be said if I was to call out any teams. Teams where the dark kit is a black and the white kit is a light. It's a little bit uncreative. I mean, just look around. It's so...
Hey everyone. So unfortunately the audio does cut out there. Bit of a mistake on my end. Shouldn't have talked so close to the mic. Anyway, basic summary of what Cal said. The Kronk kit. Probably not the best thing to wear. To make it Div 1, there might be a trademark, copyright sort of situation. Don't want to get too detailed into that. Otherwise, that's all for today. Thank you for listening in. Best of luck to everyone at Club Nats. We'll see who comes out on top. Best of luck. See ya.